8:45. This is a Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. Another round of talks between the President and the IMF. The UNICEF lauds the efforts taken by the Sri Lankan government to protect the children and their well-being. Ranjan Ramanayaka released from the prison. The Paddy Marketing Board says around 5,000 metric tons of paddy stocks have been purchased by the Paddy Marketing Board during the last few days. Dr. Samitha Ginige says many asymptomatic COVID patients do not show up for any treatments. The Minister of Power and Energy says that the lowest bidder of the tender to provide coal for Nuraichole power plant has been declared and awarded the order. The Minister of Justice alleged that some media institutions acted irresponsibly by provoking the general public and promoting violence during the Aragale time. In news overseas, climate change, Russia burns off gas as Europe's energy bills rocket. And in sports news, Mohammad Wasim suffered back pain in another injury scare for Pakistan. Those were the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the local news. Another round of discussions with the International Monetary Fund with the aim of finding solutions to the financial crisis faced by Sri Lanka was held this afternoon at the President's office under the patronage of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Presidential Media Division said that President Wickremesinghe joined the meeting via Zoom technology and both parties exchanged ideas in a positive manner. The IMF has made a request for additional information pertaining to electricity tariff revisions, Excise Act, etc., and it was decided that this meeting to provide the requested information by next Monday. Financial and legal advisors of the IMF joined today's meeting, and another round of discussion has been scheduled for next Wednesday. Peter Brewer, head of International Monetary Fund's negotiation panel, Deputy Head Masahiro Nozaki, and Tabuga's permanent representative of the International Monetary Fund in Sri Lanka and Chief of Staff to the President and the Senior Advisor to the President on National Security, Sagala Ratnayaka, President's Secretary Saman Eknayaka, Governor of the Central Bank Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, and several other Central Bank senior officers were present at this occasion. Former parliamentarian Ranjan Ramanayaka, who was imprisoned over a contempt of court, was released from the Valikada prison this afternoon after he was granted a conditional presidential pardon. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has signed the document pertaining to Mr. Ramanayaka's release this morning. The document was subsequently handed over to the prison officials by Secretary to the Justice Ministry, Vasantha Pereira, who was tasked with making the necessary arrangements for Ramanayaka's release. In an announcement, the President's Media Division stated that Ramanayaka was granted presidential pardon on the condition that he would refrain from making any comments in contempt of the judiciary in the future. On January 12, 2021, Supreme Court sentenced Ramanayaka to 4 years of rigorous imprisonment over a case filed against a derogatory comment he had made with regard to the judiciary outside the temple trees on the 21st of August 2017. He was later handed a sentence of 2 years rigorous imprisonment, suspended for a period of 5 years over another contempt of court case filed against him. Submitting an affidavit to the court yesterday, Ramanayaka made an official apology for the comments he had made. Deeply reflecting on the statement made by him outside the temple trees in August 2017, Ramanayaka admitted that his comment was utterly contemptuous of the Chief Justice and the entire judiciary. In his affidavit, Ramanayaka profoundly apologized and sought the forgiveness of the entire judiciary. The UNICEF has lauded the efforts taken by the Sri Lankan government to protect the children and their well-being. Director of South Asian Division of the UNICEF, Goj Larry H., stated that Sri Lankan government has taken some productive measures to protect the rights of the children of this country. He made these remarks during a meeting with the Foreign Affairs Minister Ali Sabri. Minister thanked the UNICEF director for providing support continuously during the difficult times. The project carried out under the UNICEF have shown fruitful results amidst many challenges. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. Sri Lanka Air Force deployed a Bell 412 helicopter equipped with a Bambi bucket to douse the fire erupted at the Muthurajavela Wetland Reserve in Kerala, Vijaya. The fire was unexpected, but effective measures were taken to control the fire. The ground experts say it could be the cause of the hot weather during these days. Justice Minister Vijayadasa Rajapaksa says the protests could be prevented by providing the youth an opportunity to represent the government. The minister also noted that some media institutions acted irresponsibly by provoking the general public and promoting violence during the Aragalaya time. This media menace should be eliminated from the society, the minister added. The media institutions should understand their responsibilities and act accordingly. Meanwhile, 12 suspects who torched the parliamentarian Sanath Nishanta's house have been arrested and remanded. Chairman of the Paddy Marketing Board, Neil Alvis, says around 5,000 metric tons of paddy stocks have been purchased by the Paddy Marketing Board during the last few days. Meanwhile, 10,000 metric tons of urea fertilizer provided freely by FAO will be distributed to island-wide farmers during the next 2 weeks. 375,000 bags of 50 grams of urea stocks will be provided to the low-income farming communities. Dr. Samitha Kinege says that many asymptomatic COVID patients do not show up for any tests. They should undergo proper medical tests, Dr. Kinege added. If they do not show up, then the COVID menace may spread once again, the doctor warned. The proper vaccination system saved the people of this country from the COVID pandemic. However, Dr. Kinege requests the public to follow the health regulations and take their due vaccines in order to protect themselves from the new Omicron variant. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. Another round of talks between the President and the IMF. The UNICEF lauds the efforts taken by the Sri Lankan government to protect the children and their well-being. Ranjan Ramanaka released from the prison. The Paddy Marketing Board says that around 5,000 metric tons of paddy stocks have been purchased by the Paddy Marketing Board during the last few days. Dr. Samitha Kinege says that many asymptomatic COVID patients do not show up for any tests. The Minister of Power and Energy says that the lowest bidder of the tender to provide coal for the Nuraichole power plant has been declared and awarded the order. The Minister of Justice alleged that some media institutions acted irresponsibly by provoking general public and promoting violence during the Aragalaya time. And that was the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The main news story for tonight, Minister Kanchana Wijayasekara says that the lowest bidder of the tender to provide coal for the Nuraichole power plant has been declared and awarded the order. The bidder was awarded the tender yesterday at the ministry. The lowest bidder was decided by the Government Procurement and Technical Evaluation Committee. This order is carried out based on a 6-month loan scheme. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
A Strength to Your Life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
And in Watchlight, Sri Lankan citizens and residents have been given a 1-month amnesty period from 15th August to deposit or sell foreign currency in possession without questioning, Cabinet spokesperson and mass media minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardana said. The minister said this while speaking to the press conference to announce the Cabinet decisions held under the Government Information Department yesterday. Accordingly, persons in or residents in Sri Lanka who hold foreign currency notes in possession can deposit those currency into a personal foreign currency account or into a business currency account or sell it to an authorized dealer. The minister said that the Central Bank of Sri Lanka had previously issued an announcement in this regard, and further information can be obtained from the website www.dfe.lk or contacting the Foreign Exchange Department through the telephone number 0112 477 2555 or 0112 398511. And that came to you in Watchlight.
A strength to your life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
Headlines of the world news: climate change, Russia burns off gas as Europe's energy bills rocket. Zuckerberg tells FBI warning prompted Biden laptop story censorship. Pakistani flood, 33 million affected by historic rains, says the minister. Those are the headlines, and now more to the details of the world news. As Europe's energy costs skyrocket, Russia is burning off large amounts of natural gas, according to an analysis shared with the BBC News. They say the plant near the border with Finland is burning an estimated $10 million worth of gas every day. Experts say that the gas would have previously have been exported to Germany. Germany's ambassador to the UK told the BBC that Russia is burning gas because they couldn't sell it elsewhere. Mark Zuckerberg says that Facebook's restricting a story about Joe Biden's son during the 2022 election was based on FBI misinformation warnings. The New York Post alleged leaked emails from Hunter Biden's laptop showed that then Vice President was helping his son's business dealings in Ukraine. Facebook and Twitter restricted sharing of the article before reversing the course amid allegations of censorships. More than 33 million people have been affected by historic rains and floods that have swept Pakistan, the country's climate minister told the Reuters. Since June, more than 900 people have died in monsoon rains and floods that continue to break weather records. Pakistan's climate minister said the government was battling with a climate-induced humanitarian disaster of epic proportions. The cash-strapped nation has called for additional international aid. That was the world news. Let's move on to development news. The United States today, through the U.S. Department of Agriculture and in partnership with the Save Children, received 320 metric tons of split yellow peas to nourish school children across the country. The donation is part of a larger of 3,000 metric tons of food. The U.S. Ambassador Julie Chang, Sri Lanka's Minister of Education, Dr. Susi Premachandra, and representatives of the Ministry of Health, the National Planning Department, and Save the Children attended the handover ceremony. And that came to you in the segment of Development News.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Moving on to sports news. In cricket, after shocking Shah Afridi's withdrawal due to knee injury, Pakistan have been dealing with another scare ahead of their Asia Cup opener against India on 28th of August, with fast bowler Mohammad Wasim pulling up with a back pain during the training in Dubai. Wasim, who turned 21 yesterday, complained of pain in his lower back during a bowling session at the ICC Academy. He is believed to have undergone an MRI scan. Wasim has been part of each of the team's 3 training sessions since arriving in Dubai on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the Asia Cup T20 matches will commence tomorrow, with Sri Lanka taking on Afghanistan in the series opener at the UAE. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
A committed fixed monthly deposit can begin the journey to a millionaire status following an upward revision of the interest rate applicable to the popular aspiration-linked millionaire investment plan of the Commercial Bank of Ceylon to 15% per annum. Reflecting upwards movement of interest, Sri Lanka's benchmark private sector bank has announced the new monthly deposit requirements for 2 to 6 year plans. Plans culminate in the depositors amassing the milestone million rupee account balance under this unique investment plan originally launched in the year 2015.